All right, we're going to turn to chapter 2, page 9. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was actually a relief to get back to Miss Adolph's class, for about 20 seconds anyway. As soon as I slid into my chair, the words 5 full paragraphs are required came flying out of Miss Adolph's mouth like heart-seeking missiles. I looked around. All the other kids were writing in their assignment books. I reached for my assignment book too, but it was missing in action. I thought maybe I'd left it in the middle drawer of my desk at home, underneath my broken watch collection, or maybe on the kitchen table. The topic for your essay is, what did I do on my summer vacation? Mrs. Adolph went on. As she wrote the words on the blackboard, I noticed that her skirt had a bunch of chalk marks in the butt region. That happens to teachers when they lean against the blackboard, but I had never seen chalk marks like this before. They look like donkey ears. When I thought of Mrs. Adolph with donkeys on her butt, I couldn't help myself. I laughed out loud. Henry, I see nothing funny, Mrs. Adolph said. Of course she didn't. That's because she couldn't see her rear end. I bit my lip and tried to concentrate. I expect you to write an opening paragraph, a concluding paragraph, and 3 supporting paragraphs, Mrs. Adolph was saying. I raised my hand. Exactly how long does a paragraph have to be? I asked. Everyone laughed, which was strange because I wasn't trying to be funny. Mrs. Adolph didn't laugh. She got little red splotches on her neck, like the kind my sister Emily gets when she's really mad. Well, Henry, she said, saying my name as if it smelled bad. We will all learn that from you, since you'll be the first one to read your composition out loud to the class. Mrs. Adolph walked to her desk. She wore a lanyard around her neck with a small key on it. The key was silver and so shiny that she must have polished it every night. She slipped the lanyard off and unlocked the top drawer of her desk with a key. I wonder what could be in there that she had to lock up. I looked at Frankie, who knew what I was thinking. Maybe she's got a big wad of cash in there, he whispered. Or jewels, said her friend Ashley Wong, who loves jewelry. But when Mrs. Adolph opened the drawer, the only thing she took out was her roll book. She picked it up and started to write, Henry Zipzer, Monday at 9:15. We will all look forward to hearing your essay then. Is that clear, Henry? Mrs. Adolph, I said, do you think you could call me Hank? Why would I call you Hank when Henry is a perfectly fine name? She said. She locked up her roll book and slipped the key back over her head. It's what my friends call me. I'm turning the page, page 12. Well, I am not your friend, Mrs. Adolph said, as if I hadn't already figured that out. She reached down and picked a tiny piece of lint off her skirt. I mean, it was so tiny you needed a microscope to see it. She held the shred of lint in her hand and walked it carefully over to the wastebasket. When she dropped it in, I'm telling you, I saw nothing leave her fingers. I wondered why Mrs. Adolph would care so much about a piece of lint. It's not like she looked that good anyway. Well, all she ever wears is a gray skirt and a gray blouse, which match her gray hair and her gray glasses, not to mention her gray face. Remember, class, that's 5 paragraphs, she said, and neatness counts. I'll be expecting your very best work. That includes you, Henry. Smile, Hank, I thought. Nod your head up and down. You can do this. 5 paragraphs. What's the big deal? You've got 6 days. Oh, come on. Who am I kidding? I can't even write one good sentence. So how am I ever going to write an entire 5-page essay? Mrs. Adolph might as well have asked me to ski down Mount Everest, backwards, blindfolded, and butt naked.